So here's the thing. I didn't prepare anything for this show. I've actually never prepared anything for any of the shows, but I don't know why I'm saying it like that, like some revelation. But anyway, unfortunately DK's got to go now because him and Dumbo have got to take that train off to the circuit. What the fuck was that sound? What was that like? Train horn being blown. Didn't you hear that?
I could barely hear it. Is it really picking that up? Sorry.
Was it your house? Oh, okay. It sounded like out of that movie Dumbo, that brilliant movie, which I love. And Anders says the characterizations of all the different races and animals is spot on. Right, Anders?
I'm into that. That's the only reason I watch Disney movies now.
You've never seen an elephant fly either, right? So
I have, but
those were mad edgy. Those characterizations, but they
would not go down well today.
I know
at all.
So what you're saying is we need to get Jordan B. Peterson to be the psychologist of Australis and help them sort themselves out.
Listen, this we're already deep into the simulation. If there is ever an
there intersection,
if there's ever an intersection between esports and Jordan B. Peterson, then I'm going to officially call it.
Anders.
Yes.
Famously, one of the reasons why. I mean, we only had Europe and North America basically for most of Counter-Strike, and Europeans basically were generally the superior players. And what would happen was, first of all, North Americans almost never had a true practice culture. They would play scrims, but when you played the scrim even, there was ego involved. You were trying to win the scrim, which is something we definitely heard about in the early days of League of Legends. Likewise, like famously, supposedly, some of the teams like CLG that had double lift, they were just trying to win the scrim and they weren't actually like practicing anything. And so they would think, oh, I did 70% win rate. It's like, that doesn't really matter. And then the other part is, in Counter-Strike especially, one of the weird things is, even though they wouldn't scrim properly, they would put in way more hours trying to find like a really crazy boost that you could do on a map, you know, where you're in a spot that no one expects you to be. And that's like, it's basically like cheese in Counter-Strike, you know, you can get an extra kill out of it that you wouldn't normally. And they would have all these crazy boosts and like weird things. But as you're saying, like the one thing they're shying away from is they won't practice the fundamentals. They just think, well, I'm a really good player. So if I do something wacky, then I could win. But that's obviously kind of a short-term mentality, you know. And likewise, I think in League of Legends, I mean, I remember famously that first TSM squad that was really good. They were really good, like, players, but they had, like, one of the reasons they were so triggered by that famous scenario where they played a Zubu Frost and a Zubu Frost cheated and looked at the screen. It's because they'd put, like, so much of their Worlds training into, like, weird level 1 invades and stuff. And it's like, listen, I get it. That's cool if you can do it, but that's not going to win you Worlds. Like, that might win you one game, you know. So I have seen this. This is something I have actually seen as a trend across multiple games.
Right, this is going to be another episode of Esports Salon. I'm bringing that show back because we need it in this industry. I know Monty tried to do that show for Jack that lasted about fucking 2 whole episodes before he just abandoned it, which basically was the same premise that Monty stole. And because he's Monty, he then literally went on Twitter and was telling people like, I've invented a new show. We really need something like this. And even though he's been on this show himself many times, but that's just more a rant about who Monty is and what a ridiculous human being is, if you know him at all personally. So the point of this episode is, it's no big topic or anything, guys. It's just like, how do we save the entire NA region from being a laughing stock internationally at Worlds? So, no biggie. Nothing anyone's been, you know, scratching their head about over the years, right? The obvious joke here would be the fourth person should have been Reginald, but he didn't have any answers, so he just decided no point to turn up to this particular episode. And he told me when he figures it out, he'll let me know first. So there's a reason why you think, because one angle, here's the angle I don't get it from. A long time ago on this exact show, actually, a few years back, when you guys were trying to make the case, actually, as to why you needed franchising, everyone sold me that great line that, like, oh, well, then we won't have to recycle talent, because what we'll do is since we can't get relegated, we'll just try out the new talent. It's like, listen, that all sounded great, but no one did it. Everyone, like I said, those players are still getting signed. So, except for a few people who've done some bold moves or get the best imports, the rest of the league generally does recycle. But this is what I don't get is, what do they actually get from it? Because, like, it's not like they make money at the moment. So that's the part that's weird to me. If there was, like, that old angle that people thought that, like, Twitter followers equals dollars equals, you know, like some weird, cynical, like, robber baron move. That doesn't really even work, though. So what is the purpose of recycling the talent, do you think? Why not go? Why doesn't everyone go for first place, basically?
I think like you happen to be talking to the two dudes that take the most risks on new talent.
Okay.
Like, I think, you know, as long as they keep doing that, that's probably to our benefit. So
sure.
Say, I don't know. I have no idea what it is.
Okay.
It seems like a really good idea. They should go for the most Twitter followers. That means more wins, right?
Okay.
but like that it doesn't like. And for me, like I I've said this before. I don't give a damn who like how many Twitter followers you have and how big your YouTube presence is. I'm not hiring a streamer. I only want my team to win, and if you don't even have a Twitter account, that's fine with me. I want to see how well you play. And I'm pretty sure it's the same way as Steve. We're looking to build championships here, not Twitter following.
There's two scenarios for how this played out, right? They flipped a coin. So which of the teams that we own are we going to invite? And Virtus Pro just happened to be the one that showed up on heads there. The other side of it is, well, we can invite VP because it might be fuzzy enough where it's a Polish team. If we invite Na'Vi, it's going to be too blatant. Too much favoritism, too blatant. But if we invite VP, well, it's a Polish team, right? And then obviously Na'Vi will beat everybody else in the CIS qualifier, and we'll get our cake and eat it too. Only problem is they got the icing on the cake. Turns out it was shit inside the icing. Layer of shit.
So you're saying Epicenter made a shit cake?
They made a shit cake and they got to eat it because Na'Vi let them down.
Why did they have to eat it at the end? Why don't they just go? Like I thought in his analogy,
that's it. You get your cake and you eat it too. That's the whole thing.
No, but that's the mad part. I know what you're trying to work with. That just doesn't really work, right? Because here's the thing: your analogy was perfect at the point at which they just look at the cake and they go, "What's this inside? Oh, it's all shit. I can't eat it now." But in your analogy, they're just like 2 girls, 1 cup. They're like, this shitty cake is so delicious. Like, why are they eating it at that point if they've seen it's shit? Even if they started to eat it, they're going to stop, aren't they? They're not going to go, let's keep going.
We got this nothing left to do but eat it.
Here's how you know Destiny.
But like without thinking about the game.
Here's the way, if you look at people's reaction, here's how you know nobody actually thinks Destiny's really good. All they say is like, see, he wasn't as bad as you thought. Like, that's like the fucking compliment. Like, it's not like, look how sick he is, look at this great. It's like, hey, he wasn't bad on Thresh that week. It's like, dude, if that's the expectation, you're never going to be a top team, are you? If we're just hoping you don't int the whole game away. Like, we're talking about having big performances here.
Yeah, I mean,
so I'm with you. Like, that experiment sort of failed. You have to be real.
I think that stylistically, I think Xerxes is good. I think you definitely play in LEC. I don't think he's like not LEC caliber, but I just want to see him like, I just want to see a different type of jungler. Like, I want to see somebody who's just aggressive. Like, I hate watching like passive jungling right now. I mean, it's part of the reason why I literally, if you watch my LEC live view, I just shit on NG every single time I can. Like, I just hate the way this fucking guy plays, So just like,
poor guy, man. He's a rookie, man.
Yeah. I hope he doesn't get to be a sophomore in this league. That's all I'm saying.
The thing is amazing. Luckily, we've got these whole secondary leagues that you can go and play, and we've built up a whole thing. You can have a whole career, you can have a salary, you can have fans.
Oh, that's so nice.
Exactly.
I appreciate the retirement home. Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
We're not hating. He can go play in the fucking D League or whatever, can't he? Like,
Interesting detail again. Dan also played for Dignitas at one point in time, correct?
Yep.
Okay, so you see the theme I've got here? No one knew it, but there's a secret theme. This entire episode was secretly funded by Odie. And it's one of the best dogs we've ever beat. No, I'm just joking. Okay. So the last member of our panel is Jat, who also played for Dignitas. He was the jungler there, I believe, when they won MLG, right? Oh, IPL was it?
IPL 3.
Yes,
yeah.
IPL. Okay.
Did you know that you want to refer to them as Team Dignitas? Because if you Google Dignitas, it's like an assisted suicide website or something. So
which, by the way,
that it's Team Dignitas.
I'll just clarify. In no way did he know that. But you know how they like? There's actually a saying in magic and witchcraft. You should be very careful what you name something because names have a lot of power. If you ever know anything about League of Legends, that was kind of an omen, really. If you ever saw some of the things that beset that team, quite frankly.
I work hard to make sure I get mine, but no one can do it all on their own, and that's why everyone needs a support group. And so I have my Patreon community. Do you want to suggest a topic or a guest for my content? Maybe you want to ask a question in one of these monthly AMAs. Do you want teasers? Find out who the upcoming guests are. Or maybe you want to take part in one of those long discussions where you can help set the table of the topics and join in with other like-minded people. Well, if so, put your money where your mouth is and join the Skrilluminati today via the Patreon link below, as the following people who I very much appreciate did: Matt Pugnatio Rajcula, Ahmed Hadjou, Kyle, Bot Pounder 420, Torin, Animosity, Tobias Bernasconi, Jensen Goh, Tosh, and always, you know it, a special thanks goes out to Jerky's Minion.